Hello, my name is Pastor Kris Kollar. I'm the pastor of Pleasant Valley Lutheran Church near Malabar Farm State Park and St. Paul Lutheran Church in Lucas, Ohio. Greetings. We are reading through the Bible with commentary. We are in the book of Proverbs, and I am once again traveling for my other job, which is a hospice chaplain. Full-time during the week, I am a chaplain for hospice patients, and in another city, they need some help with to fill in a little bit, so I'm traveling again. We are up to Proverbs chapter 6, and this and the next chapter both begin with my child. So the idea is that this is advice being given by a parent to their children or child. And we've talked about the book of Psalms, or do it every time. The book of Proverbs begins with 9 introductory chapters, and the 9 introductory chapters are about wisdom and getting wisdom and general advice. So there are proverbs, little pithy sayings that are full of truth in the first 9 chapters, but not like chapters 10 through 29. It's going to be proverb after proverb after proverb, all linked together. Then the last 2 chapters, chapters 30 and 31, kind of wrap it up, once again giving the idea of what is I'd like to search for wisdom. So, and we said in previous sessions, wisdom is personified. That's a poetical thing. It's written like poetry, and we don't say that there's actually a goddess named Wisdom or Sophia that we're going to pray to, but we recognize that wisdom is something that we want to go after, that we want to get, just like we can go after a person, or wisdom calls to us and says, hey, you want to come and find me because I will make your life better, just like if this was a person calling us. So it's a personification of wisdom as a woman, as a female. So I think we hear that again in one or both of these 2 chapters that I'm going to read today. So, chapter 6, my child, if you have given your pledge to your neighbor, if you have bound yourself to another, you are snared by the utterance of your lips, caught by the words of your mouth. So do this, my child, and save yourself. For you have come into your neighbor's power. Go, hurry, and plead with your neighbor. Give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. Save yourself like a gazelle from the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler. So if you've made a pledge, if you've made a promise to your neighbor, and you are now bound to your neighbor, and you need to go free yourself as quickly as possible from that. You need, and I would think that there are times when we do need to make a promise, make a pledge, help somebody. But there's other times that our lips, our mouths get us into trouble. And they're saying if that is the case, then you need to go and get yourself out as soon as possible. Verse 6, go to the ant, you lazy bones, consider its ways and be wise. Without having any chief or officer or ruler, it prepares its food in summer and gathers its sustenance in harvest. How long will you lie there, O lazy bones? When will you rise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed warrior. So don't be a slacker. Look at the ant and how busy it is. Do not be going and saying, well, a little sleep, I'll just take a nap, and then pretty soon you're poor. So the advice from the parent to the child in chapter 6 is don't be lazy, get up and get going. Verse 12, a scoundrel and a villain goes about with crooked speech, winking the eyes, shuffling the feet, pointing the fingers, with perverted mind devising evil, continually sowing discord. On such a one, calamity will descend suddenly, in a moment, damage beyond repair. So again, giving advice to a parent, to a child, that somebody who goes about with crooked speech and winks and perverts and is awful, then calamity will come on them very suddenly. And of course, it doesn't always. But on the other hand, the people that are deceptive do sometimes fall into traps that they would not have fallen into if they were not deceptive. Verse 16, There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him. And this is a poetic form to have one number and then add another number. And we will hear that all the way through the book of Proverbs. And of course, if I say the numbers here, then anybody middle school watching this can be like, oh, you said 6, 7. But there are 6 things, 7. This is a poetic form to say this many and one more. It doesn't mean it's the limit of how many there are, that there are other things that the Lord will also hate. But 6 things that the Lord hates: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, a feet that hurry to do evil, a lying witness who testifies falsely, and one who sows discord in a family. So if you ever want to know what the Lord hates, here it is: haughty eyes, lying tongue, shedding innocent blood, wicked plans, hurrying to do evil, lying, and sowing discord in a family. Verse 20, my child, keep your father's commandment and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them upon your heart always, tie them around your neck. When you walk, they will lead you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you awake, they will talk with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching a light, and the reproofs of discipline are the way of life, to preserve you from the wife of another, from the smooth tongue of the adulteress. Do not desire her beauty in your heart, and do not let her capture you with her eyelashes. For a prostitute's fee is only a loaf of bread, but the wife of another stalks a man's very life. Can fire be carried in the bosom without burning one's clothes? Or can one walk on hot coals without scorching the feet? So is he who sleeps with his neighbor's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. This is all one big chunk that goes together. Thieves are not despised, who steal only to satisfy their appetite when they're hungry. We don't get mad if somebody steals. We don't despise somebody who steals out of hunger. Yet if they are caught, they will pay 7-fold. They will forfeit all the goods of their house. But he who commits adultery has no sense. He who does it destroys himself. He will get wounds and dishonor, and his disgrace will not be wiped away. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he shows no restraint when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation and refuses a bribe, no matter how great. So this whole big chunk starts with, do not despise your father's teaching, your father's commandment, your mother's teaching, and they're going to guide you. But then it very quickly goes into that the commandments and this discipline preserves you from going after somebody else's wife. And they're basically saying if a thief steals something, we don't despise them if they steal out of hunger, although they do have to pay it all back and they lose everything, so it's still not a good idea, but not the same as messing around with another man's wife. And it's just dangerous. Can you carry fire without burning your clothes? Can you walk on coals without burning your feet? This idea that if you mess around with somebody else's spouse, we're going to go gender free, male or female, if you mess around with somebody else's spouse, it will not go well for you. And that's different than, and they actually were like, a prostitute's fee is a loaf of bread, but the wife of another stalks a man's very life. So one thing to go to a prostitute, another thing to destroy somebody else's relationship, and to be messing around with somebody who's in a committed relationship that you have no business messing around with that person. So do not mess around with people that are in a committed relationship. That is not for us, and it will just mess you up and destroy you, because people get jealous and it's not good. So that was chapter 6 of Proverbs. Chapter 7, I think, has a lot of the same thing, because it starts out again, my child, keep my words and store up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teachings as the apple of your eye. If you ever wondered where the word apple of your eye came from, it does not come from Shakespeare. It comes from Proverbs. It comes from the Bible, the apple of one's eye. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teachings as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call insight your intimate friend, that they may keep you from the loose woman, from the adulteress with her smooth words. Once again, we have a footnote on the word loose. This time it still is strange. So the strange woman, so the person who is not a part of your committed relationship or that is part of somebody else's committed relationship, do not be messing around with that. Instead, go after commandments, teachings, wisdom, insight, and go after them, and they will protect you from going after the women or men that you should not be going after. Verse 6, for at the window of my house I looked out through my lattice, and I saw among the simple ones, I observed among the youths a young man without sense, passing along the street near her corner, taking the road to her house, in the twilight, in the evening, at the time of night and darkness. Then a woman comes toward him, decked out like a prostitute, wily of heart. She is loud and wayward. I have another footnote. For wily of heart, the meaning of the Hebrew is uncertain, so the translators have come up with wily of heart, but who knows exactly what this was. She's decked out like a prostitute and something untranslatable. She is loud and wayward. Her feet do not stay at home. Now in the street, now in the squares, and at every corner she lies in wait. She seizes him and kisses him, and with impudent face she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I have paid my vows. So now I have come out to meet you, to seek you eagerly, and I have found you. I have decked my couch with coverings, colored spreads of Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took a bag of money with him. He will not come home until full moon. So I'm actually just going to keep reading. Verse 21, with much seductive speech, she persuades him. With her smooth talk, she compels him. Right away he follows her and goes like an ox to the slaughter, or bounds like a stag toward the trap, until an arrow pierces its entrails. He is like a bird rushing into a snare, not knowing that it will cost him his life. And now, my children, listen to me, and be attentive to the words of my mouth. Do not let your hearts turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths. For many are those she has laid low, and numerous are her victims. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death. So Proverbs chapter 7, it's really like an entire, and it's got some text divisions, but basically it's saying, go for wisdom. You want wisdom and insight. I saw a young, foolish person going down the street, and this woman came after him, accosted him, dragged him away, and dragging him away to her bedroom, it's like a deer going to a trap. It's like an ox going to slaughter. It's like a bird going to a snare. It leads to death. This person is doomed. So do not, my child, do not do this. So advice from parents to children saying, don't do it. Don't go with the strange woman, which is kind of fun. They've translated it into English as the loose woman, but I don't think even that fully covers it. The idea that somebody who is in a committed relationship and then wants to be in another, like to destroy that relationship, or in this case, go after a youth and say, hey, come have sex with me because my husband is away. Do not do it. You'll regret it. Or if you're in a committed relationship, do not bring another person into that relationship or go have sex with somebody else's spouse or significant other, because you will ruin the relationship. You will ruin your own relationship. It'll ruin their relationship. It also leads to sexually transmitted diseases and all kinds of problems when we mess around with people that we should not be messing around with. And it is not wise. It is not a good thing to do. So advice from both chapters 6 and 7 are from parents to the children saying, don't do it. Don't fool around. Don't have adultery. Stick with your relationship and don't mess up other people's relationships. There's a lot of places in the Bible that talk about sex, and Proverbs is one of them. And there's a lot of people like, well, why can't I this or why can't I have that? And basically it's like, this is going to be harmful to you if you do this. If you practice an adultery, as we had one of my teenagers ask me, what exactly is adultery? And it's messing around with somebody you should not be messing around with. So if you're in a committed relationship, then having sex and intimacy and even just sexting and sexual things without actually having the physical sex can be a form of adultery, and it messes up the relationship. Because when two people are in a relationship, we will hear from Paul in the New Testament, the two become one flesh. And when the two become one flesh and they have a commitment, this is a serious thing. And if you bring somebody else into that relationship, it rips the people apart. It just is devastatingly painful to the people involved in that relationship. And there doesn't even have to be physical sex for that betrayal, that division, that ripping apart to happen and to be very awful and painful and terrible. And if that has happened to you, I'm so sorry, because it is really awful to be betrayed by somebody who goes and does things that they should not have done, that don't respect the boundaries. What is mine? What is not mine? What is yours? What is not yours? That we recognize there are things in life that are boundaries we need to keep. Whether they're sexual or physical or even emotional, there's all kinds of boundaries. When somebody tells a secret and then you tell that secret to somebody else, you have violated a boundary, that was not yours to share, that was not yours to give. So respect the boundaries, respect yourself, respect other people, and just don't go there. And now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord look at you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Go in peace. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you again next time.